All right, to start off, I'm Dakota Bailey and my team members are Lila Upshaw and Joshua Phillips. And I'll go ahead and start. Screen sharing is disabled for us, Professor.
I fixed it.
All right, cool. All right, are you guys able to see my screen okay?
Yep.
All right, so to start off, before actually getting into the webpage, I'd like to discuss the structure of the database that is backing our website. So to start off, we have a users table, which will store each type of user. So each user has a user ID, a username, a password that is stored in the database as its hash, and then the first name, last name, and the email address associated with the account. Additionally, we have a restaurants table that will store each type of restaurant. This will have a dedicated ID along with the name and the description. And then we also have a food table that stores every type of food. It has its own description, its own price, what restaurant it belongs to, and what category of item it is. And then lastly, we have one associative table, which is for the shopping cart. This is to bind all of the data together in one shopping cart where what user has it, what food item they have, from what restaurant, and what price. So this is the structure of our database, and the name of our project is called Llama Be There, and it is basically a DoorDash website. It's meant for a food delivery service. So to start off, for the sake of the presentation, we'll go ahead and assume that we don't have a user account already for the website. So we'll go ahead and go down here and say, don't have an account. Click here to create one. So when we click that link, it'll take us to the register page of the website. From here, we can go ahead and enter in the necessary information. So let's call it user. We'll give it email address. And let's say I want to give it like a super simple password, just 4 characters long. When I go to click register, it'll refresh and actually inform you the password must be at least 6 characters long. And additionally, if you leave the password fields empty or blank along with your username, it will tell you to actually enter in something into those fields. For time's sake, let's go ahead and enter in all the valid information. So we'll go ahead and enter in a password that is at least 6 characters long and go ahead and hit register. When you have all the valid information entered, it'll redirect you to the login page. So we can go ahead and log into the website using the username and password that we just created. When we click enter, we can see that it redirects you to the main page, and I'll go ahead and let Josh further discuss the home page of the website.
So as it has been aforementioned, we are doing a DoorDash equivalent. So as Dakota stated with the cart, the restaurants, that's what those items are for. So our mascot is a llama, hence the name Llama Be There. It is filled with boba tea, and the llama's name is Boba. So hopefully you caught the pun there. So our homepage consists of several tabs: about, favorite, contact. Each of them are built in using a JavaScript function called smooth scroll. So that way, when you click them from the navigation bar, they scroll smoothly and not aggressively. You have your about section that tells you about our company. Then you have our local favorites, which offer the 6 restaurants that the company currently offers at this time. And then you have the contact page, or contact section rather. If you have any questions, concerns, or anything above, you will type it in here and submit it. So at this time, we'll pick a restaurant. Pick your poison. I'm feeling 4 for 4 today, so let's get Wendy's.
All right, and just as Josh chose, we'll go with the Wendy's menu. So once you open up the page, you'll see that there's 4 different category items you can choose from: popular items, entree, sides, and drinks. So then we'll scroll down a little bit and we'll look at the popular items and we'll get some spicy nuggets. And then we'll go to our entree tab and see what they got there. Let's go with a kid's hamburger. And then we'll go to our sides, see what they have. We'll go with the chili option. And then drinks, and we'll go with a peach lemonade. All right, and I think that's all we need. So then we'll go to our cart. And in the cart, you can go ahead and see that all the items we added to the cart are there. It shows the item, the description of what the item contains, its price, and then the total price tax is all calculated down there. And then everything is also written and carried from the database.
So, and just to go ahead and prove that, we'll head back to our database and refresh the cart table. Here you can see that we have some items populated into here. The user ID is set to 10. So if we confirm that with our users table, the new user we created with the username user, the hashed password, and the other information I entered, we do have a user ID of 10. If we go back into the cart, you can also see that we have the different food IDs. So just for time's sake, we'll show you one of them just to prove that they are lined up properly. So first one is 69. So if we go into the food table and let's go 69, 4-piece spicy chicken nuggets, which is the first item that we initially entered along with all of its other information that is pulled from the cart. And then we also have the restaurant ID of 5, which tells us what restaurant those items came from, which if we go into the restaurant table, we see our ID of 5, which is Wendy's, which is the restaurant we're currently shopping at. And then additionally, the price of each item that is stored in the cart, so that way we can perform tax calculations and total calculations. So once we have all the items that we like in the cart, the user can either choose to hit the continue shopping button here, and it will redirect them back to the home page where they can go back and choose a different restaurant and get some other food, or they can go ahead and hit checkout if they're ready to check out. Here you can see our total is $13.59 with total tax being 89 cents. And we'll go ahead and hit the checkout button. When you hit the checkout button, it redirects you to the checkout page. This is where you have to enter in your billing address information, your delivery address information, and you can see your total and everything as well. So we'll go ahead and enter in some information here. So go ahead and type in Dakota Bailey for my full name, my email address. We'll just choose, a random address, stick with the name, and then we'll enter in the name on the card along with the credit card number. I accidentally clicked the wrong button, apologies. So go ahead and enter in this information. September 2018 and our CVV. Now we do have this checkbox option to make the delivery address the same as the billing address. When we check it, you can see that it will hide all of the other text fields that were here before and only use the address information that we entered in above. And then we can see we still have our total at $13.59. And when we hit place order, it'll prompt you to save the credit card information if you would like. We're going to go ahead and hit don't save, and then it'll hit you with a confirmation screen. So thank you for your order. Your order is on the way along with the price of the order and the delivery address that you want it to be sent to. At this point, the user can either click the shop again button in order to go back to the home page and check out, or they can go back to their and order more items. They can go back to their cart. Here you can see that the cart does clear every time that the place order button is clicked. This way it doesn't keep all the items that you've ever ordered into the cart, clears it out and prevents clutter. And additionally, they can also click log out if they would like. When they hit the log out button, it brings them back to the login page and ends the session. Are there any questions?
Very nice. What did you do with the credit card information once you hit that button?
You mean the prompt in Firefox for the save or don't save?
Well, yeah. When you entered all the credit card information, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you placed the order, finalized, and then what happened with that credit? Like that credit card credit card number. What happened to it?
For this, since we don't have any form of actual transaction possible, we can't connect to like the Visa network or whatnot. We didn't really do anything with credit card information at this
So
time.
it wasn't sent to the database?
It was not, no.
Okay. All right. So there's two ways, at least. I'm sure you guys probably know more. But there's a couple of ways that you could have handled that. Obviously, PayPal nowadays is probably very recommended to be in there, right? There's also something else called a credit card clearinghouse and something like authorized.net. And there's many services like that. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
I have not.
Okay, yeah. Authorized.net is basically a payment processor. And the way it works is you set up an account with authorized.net. And then from your PHP code, you're going to connect. You're going to make a network connection. It's all encrypted to authorized.net. And you send them so basically that form where you collected the credit card information, you would send that in an encrypted form to authorize.net. You have an account there because they give you like tokens and everything. And so they would receive the order and process everything in terms of money, right? They would process everything, update your accounts. You would need to have like a bank account with them. And then on your end, you have the choice of storing the credit card information, which you can, or you can choose, because of, to protect yourself from like hacks and things like that, you actually could choose not to store credit card information and you just keep track of other things. But you do have the authorize.net network to check the transactions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. That's actually really interesting. I didn't know you could do that.
So you have those two options, right? There's a third one, I guess, where you could load it on your network and then somehow have, some person, an accountant the next day, going over things. But authorize.net is an option, and there's many. That's just one. As I said, they do and then you don't have to store the credit card. They just process it. PayPal, though, nowadays is pretty solid, and that's also an option. But yeah, great project.
Thank you.
So I like it. Are there any questions, guys, from the audience? Any questions? Well, how did you do the? I like that thing that has the arrows to look at big pictures. Like when you go to the home page, what do you call that?
The banner images like this right here.
Yeah. How did you do this?
So that was actually through Bootstrap. There was a Bootstrap dedicated to those types of arrows with styling elements that we just linked to.
Could you just show it a little bit, just the code for this?
Yeah, give me 1 second. So this is the homepage .php, and then a lot of the Bootstrap links and such are actually within our header.html file that gets included at the top of each one. So we can go ahead and open that. And then which one would you like to see first?
Just that one, the big one.
This one?
Yeah. Which part is it?
So it's actually this guy right here. So we have our different images with Flex Slider. So and then
in a list. It's an unordered list. Okay.
Yes.
Got
And
it.
then it just imports the styling class Flex Slider from a Bootstrap link that we have in our header.
Got it. All right. Pretty good. So don't forget when you I'll create a link for your project. Okay. So you need to submit all these. You don't need to submit the VM, but just submit all the code, right? All the code files, and also a lab report. It's a simple, really, with a few screenshots of how it works. Also for the database, please include the SQL, the .sql. So you guys know how to do that. You just go to PHP MyAdmin. There's an option there that generates, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it'll generate the SQL text file. And please, everyone, include that in your, zip folder. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and you want all three of us to each submit
Yeah,
that report?
also, just it makes it easier for me to grade. So just everyone, please submit. So I don't have to look up everyone. So submit the same thing, basically. So one zip file with the lab report. If you have slides, put them in there. The database is a .sql, and then all of your PHP files, just take the whole structure, right? The whole folder. I'm sure you started with a folder, so just compress that and send it to me. Okay?
All right, sounds great.
Put it up on put it up on the link in Brightspace. All right, excellent job. I like it. Maybe you'll go into business with your own DoorDash.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Thank you.
All right. Any other questions for this group, guys? All right. So then next group, please.
My group can go.
All right, please. Again, just state the names of your teammates and then start.
All right, my name is Bart see us, and my group member is Gavin McCoy. All right, you can see my screen, right?
Who's the other person? I'm
Yes.
sorry?
Gavin McCoy.
Oh, Gavin. Okay, yeah, sorry.
All right, so for our project, we decided to create an e-commerce website called Ebuy, which is the world's greatest online shopping center. And when the website first starts, the user is placed on the login or create account screen. And the login, they can enter in the username and password or create an account. Since we're a new user, we're of course going to create an account. So let's say Gavin's creating a new account. So enter in his password and email. And let's say, and also his date of birth as an extra authentication method. Let's say he was born like just last year in November. And when you create an account, it immediately logs you in and puts you on the home page. And for our login and create an account method, it does check if the username you entered is already used by someone else and also the email. Here's the home page.
All right, so this is the home page. It's has every posting of someone selling a specific item and the price they want for it. And you can create a listing as well if you scroll upward. Thank you. So this is a create listing tab. So let's just grab like an Xbox 360. So I'll just name it Xbox 360 and get a picture of an Xbox 360, please.
How about a PS4? Why not?
Okay, PS4, sure.
So here we're going to create a PS4 and we can select the price based on the slider. And it maxes out $1,000 to prevent overpricing of goods. So let's say we're going to price it at $430. We can enter a name of Gavin because Gavin is of course selling it. And we can upload the image here. So we can of course upload the image right here and the time it's available until. So let's say the listing closes on June 10th. And when you create a listing, it says, congratulations, you created a listing, and it returns you to the home page. And if you scroll all the way down, your listing will appear right here. So now let's say you're a user on eBay and you want to buy a listing. So you scroll down to your listing of choice. Let's say we're going to buy the PS4 now. So click the Buy Now button. And you're presented with an option for billing information, such as what type of method, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or PayPal. We're going to go with the Visa. Let's say the name of the card is my name. Card number, we can just choose a couple of numbers. And of course, the billing address. And when the user presses the Confirm Now button, it confirms your order and it returns it straight to the home page. And also, I should have mentioned, in the create listing and also on this page, if you miss an input, it does not proceed to the next option. It alerts you, hey, you missed an input, please continue, enter it in before continuing. And if you scroll all the way down, the listing is gone as it's been purchased. And the last few pages would be that we have available are the About Us page, which just shows a little bit about the company, like who we are, what we do, how do we function, and it provides like an address of where we're located, also the customer support number. And also on all pages except for the About page, we have a Contact Us, a footer at the bottom. So if you're ever wanting to contact us for support, like what about your order, you need to buy something or sell something, you're curious about how the process goes, you can send a letter to us or contact our support hotline.
For the database, what's stored in the database is the user login, the pictures of the postings, which includes the picture, the price, the user who posted it, and information like that.
Right, like here's like for Windows XP, you're selling, here's the image, here's the seller name, and here's the time, or the time it's when the listing closes.
And when the listing is purchased, when the listing is purchased, it's removed from the database.
Right.
And then it's removed from the website as well.
And on the users page, when they create an account, the password is hashed, so to increase security. And when they decide to log in, it hashes the currently entered in password and compares that hash with the one that's in the database. And if it doesn't match, it kicks them out. Or if, let's say, they miss the username, it also kicks them out. And this essentially concludes our presentation for Ebuy. Do anyone have any questions?
Nice job. Guys, how much is that RTX? 1,000?
Yep, $1,000 by Johnson Moneybags.
Okay, buy them. All right. Any questions for this group, guys?
So is it currently just a, you can only purchase it now, there's not like a bidding system?
Sorry?
At the moment, we could not, we've considered adding that option, but we couldn't figure out how to exactly do it. But
Oh, he asked about bidding. So we
Oh,
originally did implement it, but it was kind of weird on how it worked because it did work, but you can't really present it in the best way where it would like show the changes on the website actually happen when it closes. So we just scrapped that idea and just went with buy now option instead.
yeah,
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Great job, guys. Thank you very much.
thank you.
All right. So again, the same, I'm not going to repeat this again, but just remember, submit a report. You need to take all your code, right? Just zip that folder basically. And the database .sql. Okay. Great job. So that was 2 team members, Bart and Gavin. All right. So who would like to go next? Just, volunteer, state the names of your teammates, write it down somewhere, and then start the presentation, please.
Oh, we can go. It's Cody, John, and Eric.
Sure, go ahead. Start.
All right, give me a second.
Let me get the names. What are the names?
Cody, John, and Eric.
Cody. Can you give me just last name?
You guys want to give your names? I'm Cody Snore.
I'm Jonathan Sorensen.
And Eric Garati.
Okay, hold on. All right, thanks, guys. Go ahead and get started.
Can you see my screen just fine?
Yeah.
Okay, so before I show the website, I want to show the structure of my database. We have a users table. I cleared it out before I started this. That stores the user ID that's going to implement, and then a username, first name, last name, email, password, and then receipt. So when the user purchases an item, it'll keep a record of the purchase. All right, so when you go to our website, you're going to be presented with a login screen. And if you try to log in with nothing, it won't let you. And then if you try to log in just like that, it won't let you. So you're gonna have to click on the register button. And now when you get to here, you can go to these pages, but if you try to shop, it's gonna prompt you to log back in. So we're gonna I'll just create an account for me. W account, and then just a simple password. So then I'm gonna show that it created a post in the database with my name, and it did hash the password, and it's going to compare it to the hash password. So then when I try to shop and I sign in, I could sign into my account. Now we're here at my shop. And so now I buy some baseballs, and it'll keep a receipt on the right side with your running total. And there's a checkout button when you're ready. So I might get some tennis balls, maybe a bat, some boxing gloves, why not? So I have a purchase of $67, and then when we click checkout, it'll say thank you, and it'll save your receipt. So then if you go and check the receipt table, it'll show you that C Snork, which was my account, made a purchase of $67.40, which was the price. And then when you're done, you just log out. And that's what we came up with. Any questions?
Nice job, nice job. So this is called the
Yeah, it's just like a Amazon kind of thing, but for sports stuff, I guess.
E-commerce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Questions?
Yeah, any
Questions?
questions?
Excuse
guys?
me?
Go ahead, please.
So can we cancel the purchase? Does it have the function to cancel?
Nah, I didn't get around to implementing that, but that would be something I would implement in the future. Is like getting rid of if you misclicked an item and you wanted to remove it from the receipt, that'd be a good thing to add for sure, but I didn't get around to doing it yet.
Okay, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions, guys? All right, so Eric, Jonathan, and Cody, great job. All right, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Again, somebody's asking me, everything has a hard deadline of the day of the final. So basically, keep in mind, the day of the final is the last day, you know, that we'll meet, right? We'll meet on Zoom for like 2 minutes before you start your exam. So you really should submit all your materials by then, but I strongly recommend that you submit way before that. I will post the links sometime this evening after the courses that I have to do today. So you can start submitting then, but as I, you know, to answer that question, the deadline to submit everything is the day of the final, okay? All right, so who would like to go next? State the names of your teammates and just start. Guys, next group.
I'll say I have it. Hold on. Okay, I have our names on a sheet. So right here are our names. It's Patricia Dyson, Ryan Fedrick, and Joseph Shapiro. And our site or our project we did was a game library website with user login, all that. So first thing is the database. Right here. So we have a few tables. We have our games here. So there's like the list of the 3 games that are currently in the database. There's the leaderboard, which is set up with the game ID, the user ID, and then the score they got. And then we have the user accounts, which has username, password, email, that kind of thing. The passwords, what?
The first 2 passwords aren't hashed because those
Oh,
were done
yeah.
before that. But yeah,
Those
we
were
have them in.
testing. They're just there to test it, but they don't matter. But the other ones are hashed and they work properly. These can't even be accessed, and they don't have any permission or anything like that. Additionally, here I have notes. Okay, so we did some security stuff. So the database has a user implemented just for it. So the whole website doesn't use the root user. It uses a user called seed. So they can only access the database for this project or this website and no others, and they can only insert data and alter data. However, they cannot drop any tables or create tables or users or anything like that. We tried cross-site scripting. It doesn't work because the usernames just aren't long enough for the simplest one. There's no duplicate names allowed. We use SHA 256, I think. I'm pretty sure. The session we have is stored with the ID, and the website has a name. There's a leaderboard with ranks, and we added a thing for the games. So okay, so onto here we have the home page with login and all that. We have the tables of all the users, and a little message of the day. It tells you how many total users there are, but that's just a symbol. So, oh, there's also everything's prepared statements, so there's no SQL injection. So if I just do a login, it will log me in, and it'll redirect me to the main page. It now says log out, and I can play the games if I can show it actually. If I go to here and try to play a game, it won't even run it because there's no user. Well, okay, The second game does bean clicker won't accept you. The first game will allow you, but you can't save records. And then the third game will allow you, but you can't save. So you need to be logged in to save to the database for any user. But if I log in, gives me a little login message, and does that. Nothing's really styled. We're programmers, not artists. So now if I go to games, and we'll do Ryan's game. So it's game, it works, it runs. His stats page, so it shows the current user, the beans, all their stats and stuff. But then
Yeah, the layout's messed up a little bit. I think that's
yeah,
because of
that's
the VM.
so that's my. It's not even the VM. That's me. I'm on a 1440p monitor, and it just doesn't fit. So that's that. If I did a smaller resolution, it would work. But it's just I wanted to make it big enough to see.
Yeah, but
if
there's things like if you click the bean, it'll show some graphics, and then there's a shop. So if you collect up to 50 beans, you can get the coffee bean, which will make it so each click gives you 2 beans rather than 1. And this game is basically just a parody of a popular game called Cookie Clicker, where the whole goal is to basically get the most cookies. So in this game, the goal is to get the most beans, and you can do that by buying other items that will get you beans quicker.
So we can exit that, and then if I go to the correct database, bean clicker, then we can see that my current beans have updated, and it shows the total beans I got, and then there is the one purchase I made. So the table does update for each game. And that's how all the games work. There is a table. So you see which
So those
user.
tables at the bottom are of the index page. Those are the leaderboard.
So can't really show it because I already have a score. But here, okay, so like right here, this pulls exactly from the database we have, and it updates all the tables. If I were to play another game and just try, oh, hold on, do that, then that's the little game I made, and then you get your score, and then you upload and returns you back to the home page or the games page, and then it's updated on the ranking. It shows my score. Wasn't a great score, but it does update. Right. The games, they all kind of hover. They do that little thing we learned about. I think that's everything, right? Yeah.
Just about.
So, any questions?
Very nice job, guys.
Excuse me?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Can I see the registrations of the
Right.
login?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. So if we log in and register, we can create a username. So I'll do test2. I'll do the password of the normal. To confirm it, email. And then date of birth, you just click the thing, it does it. Then you register. Then does that, and it should,
like it makes sure that it's actually an email. The date is actually a date.
So I will show that as well, but I just want to show the redirect. So log in, and I'm just gonna leave it all blank. See what happens. Nope, doesn't work. Then if we go to the database, you can see the new user I created, and there is no empty user that was created for the wrong one. Then if I just do that, it even gives a little pop-up. So, very stylized. I think that is everything, though. Just running through it.
Any other questions, guys?
Were the games written in a different language?
They were all done web games, so all the games are made in JS, HTML, and CS.
All right. Cool.
There's also something called Unity out there, right? Unity allows you to
Yeah.
play games on the browser. Great.
I did not know
Excellent
that.
job. Any other questions? Nice job. All right. Thank you very much. Who would like to go next?